So I finally sat down and watched Bandwaale. And honestly, I went in with really high expectations. I mean, when you see names like Swanand Kirkire and Ashish Vidyarthi attached to a project, you naturally expect something solid, right? These are people who have consistently delivered over the years. So, yeah, expectations were up there. And that's exactly why, by the time I was done watching, the only thing I was left was with pure flat out disappointment. Let me tell you why. Bandwaale is directed by Akshat Verma and Ankur Tewari, and the story revolves around Mariam, played by Shalini Pandey, a young poetess who lives under the shadow of her strict conservative father, played by Ashish Vidyarthi. Mariam wants to break free, and her way of doing that is by uploading her poetry online. Pretty interesting setup, right? In this journey, she's supported by a band singer named Robo Bhaiya, played by Swanand Kirkire, and a DJ named Sai, played by Zahan Kapoor. Now, on paper, this sounds like it could be something really engaging. A small town girl, an overbearing father, the rebellion through art and music. There's genuine potential here. But the execution, that's where it all falls apart. I've always said this, and I'll say it again. Screenplay and writing are the two pillars of any film or series. If either one of them crumbles, no amount of good acting or beautiful visuals can save the narrative. And unfortunately, Bandwaale is a textbook example of that. The screenplay is painfully slow. Scenes are stretched so long that you start getting restless. You're sitting there mentally begging the story to move forward, but it just doesn't. And the worst part, this isn't a one off thing. It keeps happening, scene after scene, the same pattern. Things that could have been conveyed in 2 minutes are dragged out to 5 or 6. After a point, it stops feeling like a creative choice and starts feeling like padding. By the time you reach the final episodes, you're not watching because you're invested. You're watching because you just want it to end. And that's never a good sign for any show. When the audience is waiting for the credits to roll instead of thinking about the story, you know something has gone fundamentally wrong. Now, here's the thing that really bothered me. This is a show about a band, about music, about poetry. These are supposed to be the heart and soul of the narrative. The songs and the poetry should have been the kind of stuff that stays with you long after the episode is over. But what we actually get is shockingly forgettable. There's no effort to make the poetry feel meaningful or the music feel stirring. The songs come and go, and you won't remember a single one 5 minutes later. In a show that literally has band in its name, how do you not invest in making the music memorable? That for me was a massive letdown. It takes away the very thing that should have been the show's strongest card. Now, it's not all bad. I want to be fair here. There are a few things that do work. The setting of Ratlam is captured beautifully. The small town vibe, the narrow lanes, the overall look and feel, it all has a certain charm to it. You can tell the production team has put genuine effort into getting the visual texture right, and it shows. That part I appreciated. Performance wise, also, Swanand Kirkire and Ashish Vidyarthi are seasoned actors. They know what the camera demands and they deliver. There's nothing wrong with their craft here. They do what they can with what they are being given. Same goes for Shalini Pandey and Zahan Kapoor. They're decent enough. Even the supporting cast holds their own. But here's the catch, and this is a big one. The dialogues let everyone down. The lines written for these characters are dull, lifeless, and uninspired. You've got talented actors on screen, but you have handed them dialogues that have no punch, no flavor, no soul. It's like giving the chef a finest kitchen in the world, but only stale ingredients to cook with. No matter how good they are, the final dish is going to be bland. So, where does that leave us? Honestly, there isn't a whole lot to discuss here. Bandwaale is a lengthy, dull, and unfortunately boring series that tests your patience like very shows do. The pacing kills whatever potential the story had, the music fails to leave any impression, and the writing never rises to the occasion. It's streaming now on Prime Video, and I have to say, Prime really needs to step up with its game with content quality. This one just doesn't cut it. If you've got a lot of time to spare and nothing better to do, sure, go ahead and give it a try. But if you have already watched it and sat through the whole thing like I did, drop a comment and let me know. Did you feel the same frustration, or did something work for you that I might have missed? I'm genuinely curious. And as always, if you've enjoyed this review and want more honest takes on what's worth watching and what's not, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support means a lot and it keeps this going. Until next time, watch wisely.